Something has shifted, and you can feel it even if you cannot see it yet. The atmosphere is not the same as it was yesterday. Deep within your spirit there is a tug, a sense that something extraordinary has just taken place. This is not the moment to sit still, not the moment to ignore the signs. This is the moment to prepare yourself now, because something big just happened. A spiritual shift has occurred, and those who are alert will recognize it. Life may look ordinary on the outside, but in the unseen realm doors have been opened, chains have been broken, and a new season has begun. Destiny is being unlocked for those who are ready. There are opportunities rising up that you never thought would be possible, breakthroughs you prayed for that are now within reach. But the truth is, only those who are awake, only those who are sensitive, will grasp them. If you stay distracted, if you keep living as if nothing has changed, you risk letting your moment pass you by. Something has been released, and the question is, will you prepare yourself to walk into it? The hardships you have endured, the struggles that nearly broke you, were not wasted moments. Every trial was shaping you, molding you, strengthening you for this very hour. That pain was not punishment. It was preparation. Those nights when you cried yourself to sleep, those days when you thought the battle was too heavy to carry, they were all training grounds for the season you are now entering. Without the trial, you would not have the strength to handle the triumph. The fire you walked through was refining you, and now you stand ready for what has already shifted in your favor. What felt like a setback was actually positioning you for the greatest comeback of your life. But preparation is not just about surviving trials, it is also about cleansing and aligning your life. When heaven makes a move, the earth must respond with purity. This is not the hour to cling to what is toxic, to hold on to habits that chain your soul, or to entertain distractions that rob your focus. It is time to let go of what no longer belongs to you. The new season requires a new you. You cannot step into tomorrow while holding on to yesterday. Purity is the passport to this breakthrough. If your heart is divided, if your spirit is cluttered, you will not be able to carry what has just been released. Now is the time to align yourself fully, to prepare inwardly as much as you prepare outwardly, because when the door opens, it will not wait for you to get ready. You must already be ready. And finally, this shift demands faith like never before. Fear will tell you to stay where you are, to hesitate, to wait until everything looks clear. But faith tells you to step forward even when you do not see the full picture. What just happened in the Spirit is an invitation for you to move boldly. This is not the time to shrink back. This is not the time to question whether you are worthy. This is the time to act with courage. The waters have been stirred, the season has shifted, and those who move in faith will walk into blessings others only dream about. If you wait too long, the moment will pass. Boldness is the key to stepping into the extraordinary that has just been unlocked. There are moments in life when the world seems to move on as usual, when the streets are busy, people are going about their routines, and everything looks ordinary on the surface. Yet deep within the unseen realm, something extraordinary has already taken place. A shift has occurred, and though the natural eye cannot see it, the spirit can sense it. Right now, we are standing in such a moment. Something big has already happened, and the call for you is not to treat this season as if it were like every other one. The signs are all around if you are sensitive enough to notice them. Suddenly there are opportunities that were never there before, doors opening that were once tightly shut, and a stirring in your soul that refuses to let you rest in the comfort of yesterday. This is not imagination, it is the evidence of a spiritual shift. When heaven decides to move, the earth must respond, and that is exactly what has taken place. It is easy to dismiss the feeling, to ignore the change and keep walking in old patterns, but if you do, you risk missing the very blessing that has been released for you. Shifts do not announce themselves with fanfare. They come quietly, like the turning of a season. One day it feels like winter, and suddenly you realize spring has come. That is what is happening in this very hour. Yesterday may have been filled with battles, but today carries the fragrance of breakthrough. Yesterday you may have been walking in uncertainty, but today there is clarity if you will open your eyes. The tragedy of many is not that God does not move, but that they fail to perceive it when He does. Something significant happens in the Spirit, but because people are busy with distractions, they continue to live as if nothing has changed. They miss their moment, not because it wasn't there, but because they were not ready. This is why the call right now is to prepare yourself. Do not let the ordinariness of your surroundings trick you into believing nothing is different. The shift has already happened, and those who are awake will walk into a harvest that others will only hear about. Think about how quickly seasons change. There comes a day when the farmer knows it is time to plant, because if he delays, the ground will not yield its fruit in time. In the same way, there is a moment in your life when you must act, when you must step into what has been prepared. That moment is not in the future, it is now. This is the time to shake off complacency, to rise from slumber, to push away the voices that tell you to wait. Waiting has its place, but there are also times when waiting becomes disobedience, when hesitation becomes the thief of destiny. Something has shifted, and you are being called to move with it. The shift may not look like what you expected. It rarely does. Sometimes it shows up as a new relationship, a fresh opportunity, or an unexpected challenge that seems too great to handle. Other times it manifests as a deep restlessness within, a hunger that refuses to be silenced. This is not a coincidence. It is a divine signal. Your spirit is picking up what your mind has yet to process. You know that something has changed because your old routines no longer satisfy you. The things that once kept you busy now feel empty. The places you once found comfort no longer fit. That is the evidence of transition. That is how you know a spiritual shift has already taken place. This is the reason preparation is urgent. You cannot afford to walk into a new season carrying the baggage of the old one. If you cling to what has expired, you will not have the capacity to receive what has just been released. The shift demands a new posture, a fresh alignment, and a willingness to move even when everything around you tells you to stay the same. Do not confuse comfort with safety, and do not mistake familiarity for destiny. Just because you know how to survive where you are does not mean you are supposed to remain there. The shift means that the ground beneath your feet has already moved, and standing still is no longer an option. If you have been praying for a sign, consider this the answer. The sign is that everything in your spirit feels unsettled. Everything around you is pointing to change, and the opportunities you once dreamed of are closer than they have ever been. Do not delay. Do not wait for the perfect conditions. When the waters are stirred, those who step in receive healing, but those who hesitate miss the moment. The waters have been stirred, the atmosphere has shifted, and the call is for you to step forward now. Beloved, understand this. A spiritual shift is not just an event, it is an invitation. It is heaven extending its hand to you, saying, "Come higher, step deeper, move forward." The question is, will you accept the invitation? Will you align your life with what has just been released? Will you prepare yourself to carry what others cannot handle? This is not the time to be distracted, not the time to live in yesterday's mindset. The change has already taken place. The door is already open, and all that is left is for you to walk through it. Something big has happened, and your life will never be the same again if you choose to respond. So often we look at the struggles in our lives and we wonder why we had to face them, why the road had to be so hard, why the weight seemed too heavy to carry. We question why doors closed when we were ready to walk through them, why people walked away when we needed them most, why pain touched us when we were already doing everything we could to hold on. But what we fail to see in the moment is that every trial has been shaping us, preparing us, molding us into who we need to become. Nothing you have walked through has been wasted. Not a single tear, not a single lonely night, not a single disappointment has been meaningless. All of it was working in silence to make you stronger for the very breakthrough that is now approaching. The pain you thought was punishment was never meant to destroy you. It was meant to prepare you for triumph. You see, the greatest victories are never handed to those who are untested. Triumph cannot be carried by hands that have never known the weight of struggle. Strength is forged in the fire, not in comfort. If everything had gone smoothly in your life, you would not have developed the resilience, the endurance, and the determination that now lives inside of you. Every time life pressed you down, it was pressing you into purpose. Every time you had to rise again after falling, you were training for the season you are about to enter. That is why you cannot despise your trials, because they have been your teachers. They have built in you the strength that blessings alone could never give. Think about it. How would you know perseverance if you had never been tempted to quit? How would you know courage if you had never been surrounded by fear? How would you know the value of peace if you had never tasted chaos? It is the contrast of trials that makes triumph so powerful. Without the storm, you would not appreciate the calm. Without the battle, you would not treasure the victory. And without the pain, you would not fully understand the joy that is coming. This is why your struggle has been sacred, because it has been secretly writing your testimony, preparing a story that will one day inspire others. Sometimes the trial was not about the circumstances around you, but about the strength being built inside you. The loneliness was teaching you how to stand without needing the approval of others. The betrayal was teaching you how to discern who truly belongs in your life. The financial struggle was teaching you wisdom in stewardship. The heartbreak was teaching you to find your worth not in others, but in yourself and in the one who created you. Every season carried a hidden lesson, and now those lessons are becoming the foundation for your future triumph. And though you did not see it at the time, the trials were also clearing the path for you. Some people had to leave your life because they could not handle where you are going. Some opportunities had to close because they were too small for your calling. Some delays had to happen because the timing was not ready. You were frustrated in those moments, but if you look back now, you will see that it was all working for your good. The rejection was redirection. The detour was protection. The loss was preparation. Every step, even the painful ones, was guiding you toward the destiny you are about to walk into. The beauty of triumph is that it always shines brighter against the backdrop of struggle. When your victory comes, it will not be ordinary. It will be extraordinary, because everyone will know the price you paid to reach it. People may look at your success and admire it, but only you will know the battles you fought in silence, the tears that nobody saw, the prayers whispered in the middle of the night. And that is what will make your triumph so powerful. It will not just be a blessing, it will be a testimony. So if you are still in the middle of trials, do not give up. If you are still facing obstacles, do not think you have been abandoned. You are simply in training for a victory that will be greater than anything you have imagined. The pressure is not crushing you, it is shaping you. The weight is not breaking you, it is building you. The fire is not consuming you, it is refining you. And when you emerge, you will not just come out as you were before. You will come out stronger, wiser, sharper, and ready for the triumph that has been waiting for you. Understand this. The triumph is already written. The outcome has already been declared. You are not fighting for victory. You are fighting from a place of victory. The trials are not the end of your story. They are the beginning of your testimony. And soon, very soon, you will see how everything you endured was preparing you for the moment you are about to step into. You will realize that the tears watered the soil of your breakthrough, that the heartbreak carved out space for greater love, that the loss made room for greater gain. And when you stand in your triumph, you will look back and say, "It was worth it all." So lift your head, even if it feels heavy. Strengthen your heart, even if it feels weary. Something big has already happened, and your trials were simply the pathway leading you into it. What you thought was the end was never the end. It was the preparation for the victory that is about to break forth. Do not despise your trials. Do not curse your pain. They have been your silent allies, training you, refining you, positioning you. And now triumph is near. It is closer than you think. When something great is about to unfold, there is always a call for preparation. Just as a bride prepares herself for her wedding day, just as a soldier sharpens his sword before battle, so too must you prepare yourself for the season that has just been unlocked. Something big has happened in the Spirit, and the way to step into it is not through distraction, not through clinging to the old, but through purity and readiness. This is the hour where what you carry in your heart matters more than what you hold in your hands. If your heart is not aligned, if your spirit is not cleansed, you may see the break through but never taste it. Purity is not just about what you avoid. It is about what you choose to embrace. It is about living with a heart that is not divided, with a focus that is not distracted. Too many people miss their destiny because their lives are filled with noise. They are so occupied with things that do not matter that when the moment comes, they are not ready to walk through the open door. This is why the call is urgent. You cannot afford to carry dead weight into a new season. The things that once felt comfortable may now feel heavy because they are no longer meant for you. Relationships that were once right for you may now be hindering you. Habits that once seemed harmless may now be keeping you from moving forward. If you want to embrace what has been released, you must let go of everything that does not belong. Think of it this way: when new wine is poured out, it cannot be stored in old wineskins. If you try, the wineskin will burst and the blessing will be wasted. In the same way, this shift requires a new vessel. That vessel is you. You cannot step into a fresh season with an old mindset. You cannot walk into purity with a heart still chained to bitterness, unforgiveness, or hidden sin. This is the moment to cleanse yourself, not in fear, but in faith. Because what is coming is too precious to be mishandled, too valuable to be wasted. Purity is the posture that makes you ready to carry it. Readiness is more than waiting, it is preparation. Imagine being invited to a feast but arriving without the right garments. No matter how welcome you are, if you are not dressed, you cannot enter. In the same way, heaven has already sent the invitation. The doors are about to open, but you cannot enter casually. You must be dressed in readiness. That means you cannot waste time on things that drain your strength. You cannot keep giving your energy to distraction. You cannot afford to live half in and half out. Readiness means you are awake, alert, and positioned. It means your lamp is filled with oil, so when the moment arrives, you can step into it without hesitation. Too many people want blessings but resist preparation. They want success but cling to habits that sabotage their growth. They want breakthrough but refuse to release what is blocking it. But hear this clearly: blessing without readiness can become a burden. If you are not prepared to carry it, What was meant to elevate you can end up overwhelming you. This is why purification comes first. This is why readiness matters. The blessing is already here. The shift has already happened. But only those prepared will walk into it with strength and stability. There is also a deeper beauty in purity. Purity clears your vision. When your heart is cluttered with distractions, you cannot see clearly what is in front of you. But when you remove what does not belong, suddenly your sight sharpens. You begin to see opportunities you once overlooked. You begin to hear whispers of guidance you once ignored. You begin to recognize doors that were already open but hidden by your own noise. Purity is like cleaning the dust off a window. It does not create the view, it simply reveals it. The view was always there, but you could not see it until the window was clear. Readiness is the evidence of faith. It shows that you believe something big has truly happened. If you did not believe it, you would stay the same. But if you believe, you will prepare. You will make space in your life for what is coming. You will let go of relationships that drain you. You will shut the door on habits that keep you bound. You will unclutter your schedule, clear your heart, and position yourself because you know that when the opportunity arrives, there will not be time to get ready. You must already be ready. That is the difference between those who step into destiny and those who watch others step into it. Beloved, understand this. Readiness is not a suggestion, it is a requirement. Purity is not an option, it is the pathway. The shift has already taken place. The season has already turned. The question is not whether it will come, but whether you will be ready when it does. The call to purity and readiness is not meant to scare you, but to prepare you, because heaven desires you to carry the blessing, not miss it. And if you are willing to let go, to cleanse your heart, to align yourself fully, then you will not only see the breakthrough, you will live in it. So prepare yourself now, lay aside the weights, silence the distractions, cleanse the vessel. The blessing is too near, the season too precious, the moment too great to let it slip away. Purity is your preparation, and readiness is your response. Step into it now, because something big has already happened, and it is waiting for you. Faith is the bridge between what has been promised and what is about to be experienced. Something big has already happened in the Spirit, but to step into it, you cannot remain where you are. This is the moment where hesitation will cost you, where fear will try to chain you, where doubt will whisper in your ear that you are not ready, not qualified, not capable. But faith refuses to listen to fear. Faith silences doubt. Faith looks at impossibility and declares that with God, nothing shall be impossible. This is why your next step cannot be small, timid, or cautious. It must be bold. The doors that have opened will not remain open forever. The opportunities that have been released will not wait for your convenience. Now is the time to act, and the only way forward is through bold faith. Bold faith is not the absence of fear, but the decision to move anyway. It is standing on the edge of uncertainty and choosing to step out even when you cannot see the whole path. Many people wait for everything to be clear before they move, but that is not faith, that is sight. Faith means you trust the one who called you more than the circumstances around you. Faith means you are willing to take a step on the water, even if the storm is raging, because you know the one who spoke the word will not let you sink. And this is the season where you must exercise that kind of faith. Think about the moments in your life when you played it safe. How many times did you let opportunities slip away because you were waiting for perfect timing, for perfect clarity, for perfect conditions? But nothing in life is ever perfect. The perfect moment does not exist. The truth is, the moment is perfect because it is now. And when heaven stirs something in your spirit, it means the time has already come. You cannot afford to delay. Faith must be immediate, or it risks turning into regret. Bold faith says, I will not wait another day. I will not let hesitation rob me. I will move forward now. Bold faith also requires sacrifice. You cannot cling to your comfort zone and step into destiny at the same time. You cannot hold on to fear and expect to embrace courage. You cannot keep your feet planted in safety while trying to walk into promise. At some point, you must decide what matters more, the comfort of where you are or the call of where you are going. And when you choose faith, you will discover that what felt like sacrifice was actually freedom. You will realize that stepping out was not losing anything. It was gaining everything. Because on the other side of faith is always fulfillment, always blessing, always triumph. Your future will not be built on excuses. Excuses sound convincing in the moment, but they cannot carry you into destiny. Faith can. Fear will always give you a reason to stay where you are, but faith will always give you a reason to rise higher. Fear will magnify the giants, but faith will magnify the God who is bigger than every giant. Fear will tell you that you are too weak, but faith will remind you that his strength is made perfect in weakness. This is why faith must be bold, because every time you take a step forward, fear will try to pull you back. Boldness is what keeps you moving even when the opposition rises. And bold faith is not just about taking risks. It is about trust. It is trusting that the God who started the work in you will complete it. It is trusting that the same one who brought you through trials will carry you through triumph. It is trusting that the shift you sense is not an illusion, but a divine reality waiting for your obedience. When you walk in bold faith, you are not gambling. You are standing on a guarantee. The promise has already been spoken. The blessing has already been released. The shift has already happened. Your role is simply to move toward it with courage. There is a story written on your life, and the next chapter cannot be written until you turn the page. But turning the page takes faith, because you do not know what the next line will say. Yet this is the beauty of bold faith. It does not need to know the whole story. It only needs to trust the author. And the author of your story has never failed, never abandoned, never broken a promise. If he has said the season has shifted, then the only response is to step forward, even if you do not see the full picture yet. Beloved, you have come too far to let fear stop you now. You have endured too much, sacrificed too much, survived too much to freeze at the edge of breakthrough. This is not the moment to retreat. This is not the moment to doubt. This is the moment to rise with boldness, to take the step, to move into the unknown with faith that the ground will meet you when your foot touches it. Something big has already happened, but it will not manifest fully until you move. The blessing is already there, but it requires your action. The triumph is already written, but it requires your step. So do not hesitate. Do not wait for another confirmation, another sign, another push. The sign is already here. The shift has already taken place. What you need now is faith, bold, unshakable, unstoppable faith. And when you move with that kind of faith, you will not only walk into blessing, you will become a testimony for others, a living example that bold faith always leads to extraordinary triumph.